Hello, hello. Happy Sunday fun day. How are you doing? What are you doing? How has your weekend been? Depending on whatever time you're actually watching this, how's your day going? Let's put it that way. I'm actually going to grab my backup phone so I can see the commentary as it comes in because the way the camera's set up, it's a little bit farther away, so I don't get to see it that easily. But here we are. I see me. Um, cool. Awesome sauce. So today I want to talk about doing some like simple meal prep. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a like cooking show. Who remembers when I did like cooking shows? Like I would go live and cook like all the time. It would be like randomly at like 11 p.m. or something like that. But people enjoyed it. But okay, it is January, right? And it is now the time where people set like resolutions or new intentions or whatever it is. And, we're trying to be healthier or after the holidays of just like letting loose and getting cray cray. But here's the thing, like, I find that it's so easy to like, all right, I'm gung ho, new year, new me, whatever. And we start off with a bang. And then, like, as the time progresses, we kind of let everything go. So what I'm finding is that it's so much simpler to like really maintain a habit when it's an easy habit to maintain. Yes. So I wanted to kind of show you what I have planned and what I've set up this week for my meal prep. So for those who are like new to me and haven't met me before, I'm Tiara, aka T, your wine diva. I work in the realm of wine. I love to bring the fun, the ease, and just the happiness to your life. So yeah, like that's what we got going today. So for me personally, one of the things that I hate about meal prep, and let me know if you feel the same. Let me know if you can hear me because I am like kind of far away from the camera. So let me know, my friend. But anyways, what I find that is like super difficult about sticking with the whole meal prep thing, it's not so much the actual effort of like meal prep. Like I don't mind knocking something out and like doing all the stuff on one day and then having like the other 6 days to do whatever. But what really like drives me insane. Hey Deanna, how are you? What really drives me insane is the actual act of like eating the stuff like after the fact. So that's what really bugs me is that like I hate eating the same thing over and over again. Like I used to be so good at every January. I would start with the meal prep and I would do the thing. And then I realized I would get like so bored, just so unbelievably bored with whatever it is. Like by day 2, I'm like, I don't want to eat this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. So what I find is that like cooking options that you can kind of zhuzh up throughout the week is the best way to go about the meal prep for me. Oh, Deanna says that I hate leftovers. Okay, let me see. I'm like, which feed is this coming from? So I can better read. Okay. Hate leftovers. It has to be different. Yes, exactly. I need variety. Variety is the spice of life. So what I find is if I have like some protein available and then I can have like my veggies and everything prepped, I can kind of mix and mingle and change it up throughout the week. So this week I picked up some chicken thighs. We live above a grocery outlet, which if you're not familiar with grocery outlet, it's like a bar. It's grocery outlet bargain market is like the commercial. So it's like a bargain shopping like grocery store. So basically the way it's kind of set up is there's like a produce section and then they have like every standard section, but my understanding is that it's kind of like a surplus store. It's like whatever other grocery stores are not going to sell or whatever, they kind of like push it to this grocery outlet. And so you get a lot of things for a reduced price. And the other thing is that it doesn't necessarily keep everything every week. So sometimes it's kind of fun. I'm like, oh, what kind of meat are we going to have in here this week? Or what are we going to have? So like, I know if I want something very specific, I have to go to like Trader Joe's or Ralph's or some other grocery store. But if I'm just like, I want to just randomly pick up some stuff for the week, we go downstairs and see how it is. And there's like a whole organic section, which I really enjoy. So they usually have pretty staple items there too. But I've got some chicken. I've got some rice. I had my, like, so I I've gotten into, like, you know, like human design and astro charts and like numerology and all of this stuff. And so I had my astro chart done about a week or two ago by amazing Tristan Ramirez. And in there it said to avoid gluten was like one of the tips that my astrologist gave me. And so I was like, okay. And new to the gluten-free life. So if you have any like recipes or anything like that you want to share or things that you recommend if you've gone gluten-free yourself, totally open to hearing it. My understanding is that certain grains have it. I think rice is gluten-free, but if not, I'm still making it because we have it and Jay will eat it. I don't know. It doesn't say on the back, but I'm gonna make some rice. I'm gonna make some chicken, and then I kind of want to show you some stuff after I put everything in the oven. What I love about the rice and the chicken is that I'm gonna put the chicken in the oven. So once I season it and prep it, it's good to go. And then the rice, we have a rice cooker, so that'll also be like easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yeah, let's do it. All right. So what I've got is, first things first, with the chicken. I've already washed my hands, but so for the sake of this video, I'll wash my hands again because cleanliness and COVID, it's healthy. But you actually don't want to wash your chicken when you're cooking chicken. I know, like in my household, that's what we did growing up, but actually that's how you spread more disease. Like if the chicken has like salmonella or whatever, like washing it, getting it wet, it like spreads it all over your kitchen. So it's actually what restaurants do. They don't wash their chicken. I've talked to many a chef and they're like, girl, what are you doing? Don't do that. So yes, I'm gonna move this out of the way and I'm gonna wash my hands. Boo-boo. Happy birthday to you. I was kidding. What is it? You're supposed to sing like happy birthday or the ABCs or whatever, to ensure that you've washed your hands for at least 20 seconds. Yes. Oh no! What's oh no, Deanna? All right. So I have this Caribbean citrus, Mrs. Dash, which is friggin' amazing. And we can never find it. Like Jay's mom actually has to like, we'll order it in bulk and then like mail it to us because they no longer have it in stores. Like you can go to the Mrs. Dash website and buy it, but like they no longer have it. But I only have we only have a little bit left. And it actually works out because our Trader Joe, we have this seasoning from Trader Joe's that is like life. And it is this Mushroom Company umami seasoning. And it's got, I don't even know what it's got, like salt, it's got onion powder, ground mustard seed, mushroom powder, and black pepper, and red pepper. And it's just like, it's good. It's just really good. It's umami is like that. I think it's the fifth taste or something like that. I don't understand the whole like olfactory system, but basically it's just like this extra, like kind of like a fatty taste, I guess is what umami is described as. It's just that extra like flavor, right? And so the umami seasoning brings out more flavor. But what had happened was our spice rack, which I cleaned out this weekend and I'm really excited about it, was like overflowing and everything was just falling to the front. And so my poor umami seasoning fell out of our cabinet and the top broke and there was seasoning all over the floor and it was a very tragic day. But what I found is that my Mrs. Dash top actually fits on top of my umami top. So yay. Woo! Yes, the savory flavor. That's right, Deanna. So I'm going to actually use some of this on here. I hadn't pulled it out to actually use, but since I showcased it, I literally have used, ever since we got this, I use it on everything. And it's fire. So, woohoo. Got that. I'm going to do a little garlic salt. And I have like I'm really bad in terms of like recipes and that kind of thing. Like if you ask me how to make something, I'm like, well, you just throw some shit in a pot and figure it out. I just kind of like intuitively pick out seasoning and like hope it all works out. But since I based it with the Caribbean citrus, I also have this like Hawaiian seasoning blend. So I just want to like amplify that kind of like citrusy Caribbean kind of flavor profile. So I'm going to use this as well, since the Mrs. Dash is no longer with us. And I want to make sure that we get some good flavor going on up in here. All right, so I have seasoned the top. I'm going to flip it over and season the bottom because, you know, there's nothing wrong with flavor. I love flavor. If it doesn't taste good, I am not happy. So I am like, I'm that person that if someone's cooking for me and I'm like, your chicken is white, no thank you. Let's talk about this. Let's introduce you to seasonings. Seasonings are important to add flavor to your food. Do you want to over season? No, you want to amplify the flavor that is already there. Salt, I believe, like don't like over salt your food either, but salt is important because it actually enhances the natural flavors of your food, right? So this side just didn't get any seasoning on it, so I'm gonna do that. Woohoo! So we're gonna flip these bad boys over, season the opposite side with the same stuff. This guy got hidden and didn't get any seasoning on it either. So yeah, yep, I will call you out. We are not having seasonless chicken, okay? Okay. And you gotta, I believe that you cook with the seasoning. Like it gets into the meat, it gets into the whatever you're making. You should cook it into it, not like be like, well, everyone could just season afterwards. It's like, okay, so I'm from Virginia. If you've ever made sweet tea, you have to like boil the tea and then you add the sugar before it cools. Like it has to like be integrated into the food, right? It has to be integrated into the beverage. The same goes with your cooking. You got to season it while you're cooking it or before you're cooking it, depending on how you're doing it. Since I'm putting this in the oven, we're doing it beforehand. All right. My diatribe on flavor. There you go. You're welcome. Yes, don't waste the calories. Must taste great. Also, like when you have seasoning, like herbs and spices, all that kind of stuff, like Deanna's saying, like there's no added calories when you're doing this stuff, or very limited. It's very minimal, right? If you don't season your food, what are you gonna do? You're gonna add barbecue sauce. You're gonna add ranch dressing, or I shouldn't say you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add barbecue sauce. I'm gonna add ranch dressing. I'm gonna add all the things. Not saying that I wouldn't do this if it is seasoned, if I'm making a salad or something like that, but still, the thing is, I'm going to try to mask the blandness with something else, and thus amplifying the amount of calories. And a big part of what meal prepping is all about is trying to help you have healthier options in a timely fashion, right? So, I mean, unless you want to meal prep, like, you know, by ordering Domino's pizza and then putting it in individual things. I've seen a meme doing that, and I was like, yep, that sounds about my kind of meal prep. But for me, I'm trying to incorporate try. There is do or do not. There is no try. So let's remove that from the vocabulary. I am working on, and my intentions are to eat healthier and meal prep more, cook more for myself. There we go. Better words. Yes, yes. Thus, the meal prep sees. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Love it. All right. I want to know, what are some of your favorite seasonings? Do you have any? Where do you get yours? I feel like Trader Joe's has an awesome selection of just fun stuff. So the umami seasonings fire. We also have the everything but the elote. I'm not a big bagel person, but I know people like love the everything bagel option. I felt myself getting parched, and I was like, I'm gonna have to stop talking in a second. All right, so we're gonna put the cast iron skillet, because I love my cast iron skillets. I don't know what it is. I just think they're awesome. It's like cooked in flavor already built into the pan. And typically I probably would have actually just had the pan already in the oven while the oven's already preheated to 425. And I probably would have already just had it in here, and then I could spray it and then whatever. But because I knew I was going to be bringing it over here to show you, I didn't do that. It's not a big deal. I don't care either way. But I typically like to have, like, heat my pan, add my like oil or fat or whatever to like coat the pan and then add in whatever I'm cooking. That's like typically how I like to do the thing, but it's not a big deal. So I've got my chicken, and I'm just gonna like place it in here, kind of squish it in a little bit. And I love like using my oven for cooking because you know what? I prep it and then it's like a faster crock pot, right? You set it, you kind of forget it for 20 minutes and then you come back and it's done. And I can like, you know, watch an episode of an anime, read a book for a little bit, or whatever. So I'm not like actively standing over the stove the whole time. It's great. Dude, some of these thighs are like big. All right, throw that to the side. And then you can do one of two things. Since I didn't coat my pan or anything, you can coat it now with some oil. Like you can do a spray. I have Pam, I have some ghee, and I have some butter. And I'm thinking, I'm going between ghee and the Pam. And I don't know, I'm going to Pam it. Here we go. Woo-hoo. That way I know that it's somewhat evenly spread. Bam. Pam it up. And it's like ready to rock and roll. So we'll throw that in the oven and let it rock out. And I typically cook by my nose, so I'm not going to set a timer or anything, but I'll probably take about 30-ish minutes. I'll check on it and maybe flip it over, see how it feels. Once I start like really smelling it, that's when I go and check and see how's the skin crisping, how's everything doing, and then I'll you know, flip it over or pull it out depending on like what I feel needs to happen. Woohoo! Alrighty then. I'm actually gonna really wash my hands because chicken and raw meat, and we're gonna go to the rice. And I did the chicken first just because the chicken will probably take the longest to cook. And that's just kind of naturally my habit. Whatever takes longest is what I'm going to start cooking and prepping first. Because I had the, regardless of if I'm meal prepping or going to like immediately eat the food, I really like everything to kind of be hot at the same time. And it's just how I was taught to cook, is like whatever takes the longest, you do that. Then you move on to the other things while the longer thing is cooking. And hopefully if you time it right, everything will be prepped and ready and like coming out of the oven or coming off the pan at about the same time, and you can plate it and it'll be like warm and delicious. Woo! Is it boneless, skinless, or bone in? It's bone in with the skin on it. I mean, it was like $5 downstairs, so I'm not gonna like complain. The skin adds flavor in my opinion, and it is what it is. Woohoo! All right, so I'm pouring some rice in here. Whoop. I didn't even like, I don't measure. If you can't tell already, I'm not a measuring person unless I'm actually baking something. So I just fill the bottom of the rice thing because it's just Jay and I. And so I feel like when I just fill pretty much the bottom and have like a little bit there, that's enough to get us through the week. And then I always rinse it. Why? Because some lady told me this. That's why. I believe it removes the starch from the rice or something. I don't know. But that's what I was told. This is how you make rice. And I believe her. So I just put in some hot water and I zhuzh it around. And I rinse it. And I kind of just keep doing it until the water starts clearing up a bit. But it's too hot. Burning my hand. What's everyone meal prepping for the week? Are you meal prepping? Are you ordering out? We do like a mix. Like we definitely order out at least once or twice a week. But we have HelloFresh. But what I find is I don't do recipes, like I said earlier. Like I really feel better in the kitchen, and I have more fun in the kitchen when I can just like intuitively cook. Like I can get my kitchen witch on, if you will. I can focus on like, setting intentions and putting different energy into my food and like focusing on like adding more nutrition or whatever. Focusing in on cooking with love, all of these things. So like sometimes I'll look at a recipe so I have an idea of like, timing and what the temperature should be for something, or like what are recommended ingredients. But a lot of times just like to do it on my own. Yeah. So where Jay is like totally down to follow the HelloFresh recipe. So I'm like, you can do HelloFresh, I'll meal prep. That's how we work. I think that's a little too much water. So I was also taught that you like stick your finger in and like get your water to like the first digit, and that's how much water you put in when you're doing like a rice cooker thing. So just a little bit above the like rice. Like have to flatten it out to make sure it's like even, and then boop, that's good. And then I just stick it into the cooker and hit the button, which is what we're gonna do. Oop, that was loud. Cool. Awesome. Dana says that she likes to chop things up ahead of time and will prep for work lunches. Yes, I love it. That's actually what I'm going to talk about right now. So now all the stuff that really has to like cook is cooking. And I will show you some prep that I did Friday. I think it was Friday. Jay is babysitting a little cousin this weekend, and I wasn't feeling well. So I was like, I'm going to stay home. We're going to make sure that we're not spreading anything. And Jay's been like sleeping in a separate bed and like wearing masks and stuff, so he's fine. And so I'm just gonna like keep to myself. But over this weekend, I'm like, I'm cleaning the entire apartment and I'm making this space and like clearing the energy and all the things. And so prep some good stuff. I will say Jay cut this pineapple before he left, but what I've been finding is, so Jay's been really on like a fruit kick, and I find that like I haven't been a big fruit person, but when he actually preps fruit that I actually like, I will eat it. What? Bananas, right? Like if there's a mango sitting on the counter, I will not cut a mango. But if there are mango slices in the refrigerator, I am totally down to eat the mango. And so same goes. So we have pineapple prepped. I'm proud of myself. I actually prepped kiwi. So yeah, I'm gonna eat that. I diced up some onion. I put onion in almost like everything. I put it in salads. I put it on top of like, if I'm making like a pita pizza, or have to find a different crust. Probably like a cauliflower. I was like, what's the word? I prepped some cauliflower so I can totally throw some in the microwave, blend it, and make it into like a crust, or cauliflower mashed potatoes, or mashed potato alternative if I wanted to. We can roast it, so it's just prepped and ready to rock and roll. Also have some prepped, washed, and chopped up Brussels sprouts. So all this is like just easy to grab. So I can totally just saute it really quick, throw it in, make like a stir fry and add it with the rice. So everything's just kind of ready to rock and roll and prep and like use in salad, whatever I want to go to. And it makes it simpler throughout the week rather than having to do everything at one time, which is what I had to eat it. What makes it easier to make healthier choices throughout the week? Because I don't know about you, but when I get tired, I get home from work, whatever, and I'm hungry. My shirt says you won't like me when I'm hangry, if you can't tell. So when I get home, a lot of times, like if I'm already hungry and I haven't packed a snack, I haven't taken care of myself throughout the day, I'm in this space of hangry. So either what happens is while I'm cooking, I'm like munching on the things and I'm eating all the things, and so I end up making my plate, and I'm still serving myself the same serving size, even though I'm probably not even hungry anymore because I've eaten everything as I'm cooking. And so there's a setup there. Or it is that I'm like so hungry, but also exhausted, and I'm not motivated to cook anything. And so rather than taking 30 minutes to cook something, I'd rather wait 30 minutes for someone to bring me something, and then I order out and do something else or choose something else. And we live above a Chipotle, so I'll just go downstairs and get a burrito. So there are all these different things to like prevent me from actually cooking healthy. Or it's like, what do I have in the freezer that I can pop in the microwave for 5 minutes that typically doesn't have the nutrition that something that's fresh and meal prepped is going to have? And yes. So here we are. Like I said in the beginning, I don't like to cook like a full-on meal because I get bored throughout the week. Ooh, I made pomegranate too. I didn't make a pomegranate. I like broke up a pomegranate. That's a better way to put it. But I'm really, really proud of myself for that. Because pomegranates are bomb.com. All right, checking the feed. Deanna says, I do meal prep, but different meal plan for dinners. Remember, don't like leftovers. Exactly. So this is like great for like lunch, something quick to grab for breakfast. We have the HelloFresh, so we do 2 a week HelloFresh, so that's 2 dinners that are covered. Typically throughout the week, we'll still like run down to the grocery outlet and maybe pick up a steak or salmon or shrimp or something like that and like make a quick meal in the moment. But typically when we do that, we still utilize any of these veggies and stuff that we'll have. And actually I keep frozen shrimp in the freezer. I have found that because like shrimp is my jam. I love it. So if we pick up a couple bags of frozen shrimp and have it in the freezer, it takes like 5 minutes even from frozen to get it warmed up and ready to eat. So there we go. Like I'm a very protein centric person. Like that's where my brain is. Like I'm like, I need protein, give me protein. So I know that like I can prep shrimp really quickly. All I gotta do is like run some hot water on it and throw it in a skillet, and it'll be ready to rock and roll. And I can throw it on top of some lettuce for a salad or whatever. And that's like a quick go-to that I'm learning is healthy and easy and not Taco Bell on the way home. Because back when I was doing theater and I had like a lot of rehearsals and stuff like that, when I was on my way home from rehearsal, it's 10 o'clock at night. I have no desire to cook when I get home, and I don't have anything prepped when I got home. So there was Taco Bell on the way, and I would eat Taco Bell like every night. And although it is delicious, it is not the best thing for my body. Deanna says, I like to chop things up ahead of time. And then a lot of times make things into Chipotle bowls with the leftover rice, beans, and protein. Perfect. Yes. I love little Chipotle bowls, but Chipotle still tastes like so much better. I need to like learn their secret blends of herbs and spices. I know that's KFC's line, but I need to figure that out because so good. They do magical things. I don't know how, like their guacamole should be super simple, but for whatever reason, maybe they sprinkle crack in it. I don't know because it just doesn't taste as good when I do it. And barbecue is pretty quick dinner always. Throw the veggies on the grill too. Ooh, yes. Barbecue is great. I love the grill. I just we don't have access, quote unquote. Our apartment complex has like shut down pretty much all the stuff. So I do believe the grills are still turned on so we can use them, but to prevent people from like doing all the things, it does have like a sign that it's like turned off and that we're not supposed to be using it, so we are not spreading throughout the community. But yeah, so that's what I have for you. This is like my simple meal prep. Just chop up your fruits and your veggies, have them ready to go in your containers, throw them in the fridge, and your fridge looks so much like better when it's full of things. So yeah, so make these things, have it easy to grab and go, and then prep some protein and have it ready to rock and roll. And then you can mix and mingle that jingle and beat. I know it's no longer the holidays, but That's my phrase. So I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, send them my way. I've also put the link in the description of this video to my link tree. So if you want to check out my groups, like the co-op, which is super awesome, Deanna's a part of it. And we have a whole bunch of amazing friends right now. This week we're talking, well, not this week, this month, we are talking about healthier habits and just feeding our body and making our body a clear channel. So I invite you to come hang out with us over there. If you want more wine stuff, you can always go to the Virtual Wine Tasting Room Facebook group, my YouTube channel, my podcast. Both go by the name of Wine About It with Wine Diva Tiara. So I invite you to come hang out in all of the places. Ooh, Deanna says a George Foreman. We had one before we moved from Virginia, and it is now, I don't know what happened to it. I think it died. But a George Foreman grill was like, that was like life for me. I used to make chicken sandwiches like on a daily basis. When I got home from school, like my parents had a big one of those big ones where you could remove the rack and like wash it. So it made washing super simple. The one Jay and I had was one of the smaller ones that like was built into itself. And that drove me crazy to clean it. So I think that's what happened to it. I was like, it's not coming with us. And that's how that happened. But that is a good point. Maybe I should just like get a new George Foreman and see how that goes. But yes, thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Mwah. Cheers.